that was something different. I've never done that before. I've never actually played a song during my news review, then come back to the next bit. I've never done that before. There's something different, that is. I've never done it before, so I thought, well, it's something different, so I thought, well, why not? So I did. So, because I wanted to get prepared for the next bit, about the next piece of news that I was going to talk about, because I was going to get myself ready for this bit, because we are going to talk about the boy that was swept out to sea, but thought it was the end of his life. But a 10-year-old boy, yes, 10-year-old boy, he was swept out to sea during a day trip to the beach. And this is up in Scarborough, and I was watching this on the news this morning, actually, because it was mentioned on there, and it was during a day trip to the beach, which his family has described how he feared he was going to die. His name is Revi Sani. He survived for more than an hour. An hour! More than an hour! Using floating advice that he had remembered from a BBC TV documentary, Saving Lives at Sea, which is what I have seen many, many times. It is a brilliant programme. The RNLI, the Royal National Lifeboats Institution, I support them very, very well. They are an amazing charity. I go and support them all the time. The Royal National Lifeboat Institution is my favourite charity. And we're talking about them now, because, and they rescued, they were amazing. They rescued this boy's life, and his father's, and his dad's life, as well. And he was shouting for help in the water in Scarborough last Friday, the 31st of July. Now, he said, I feel like, I finally got a second chance to live. That's what he said, by the way. He's from Leeds, and he had been at the beach in South Bay with his father. I thought it was in Broadstairs in Kent, but it wasn't. It wasn't in Broadstairs. It was in Scarborough. He thanked the lifeboat crew again for saving him while touring the town's RNLI base on Thursday, and described how he had been in the water with his father and sister when he suddenly raised. He was out of the death. He said, I realised I was floating. I was like, help me, woo, woo, said Ravi. Yeah, help me is what he said. He said, my dad tried to come, but the water was higher than him. He said, I was terrified, and I thought that this was the end of my life. And he also continued as well, and he continued to talk. Because I was actually watching the interview here. Have we got the interview on here? We have got a news report of him talking. Let's hear it. Come on, then. Let's hear what he had to say. This was him today.
And then we accidentally went too far.
He's keep asking, Daddy help, and I could do nothing.
After, I was thinking that this is the end of my life. Is it really happening?
Oh. In an hour, the waves pushed him half a mile, and we all know that.
If any accident suddenly happen, and that day he's slowly going to die on front of my eye.
Sometimes I was shouting, but then my throat got dry, so then I stopped.
We were coming back north along the shoreline, and I just spotted a glimpse of his red T-shirt in the water, and we were just so relieved when we saw him breathing and actually asking for help, because you never know what we might find with that amount of time in the water.
He managed though to survive by using the float that was live, and it was technique, but he remembered from a TV documentary that he had seen.
Until the cold water shock has passed.
It's basically on your back whilst you're being a starfish.
The little boy, he was floating on his back, doing exactly the right thing, float to live, with his arms spread out, exactly right, not panicking. He was obviously very cold and scared, and I reassured him. His first words to me was, I want to see my parents.
I was like, yay, they finally came to get me, and now I've got a second chance to live.
I think it takes a special type of person to actually, pluck up that courage and remember what he'd learnt. And it's an inspiration to us all.
He came back to say thank you to the team that actually saved his life, which is amazing.
Going to die in front of our eye, how we feel. He got second life.
They're your heroes.
Yes.
And there we go. A 10-year-old boy who was swept out to sea during a day trip to the beach with his family, that was described how he feared that he was going to die. So Ravi Sani survived for more than an hour, as I said, using floating advice that he had remembered from that TV documentary. And the rescuers praised him when they found him on his back with his arms and legs. This was in Scarborough last Friday. Okay, and we spoke about that bit, didn't we? And he said that I was petrified, and I thought that this was the end of my life. He said after what we felt like 5 hours at sea, he feared the lifeboat's engine, which was approaching. He was weekly swimming lessons was what he had, and he described being a fan of the BBC documentary Saving Lives at Sea. I mean, I've seen that documentary loads of times. I've seen it loads of times, and the things they do on that documentary is just amazing. It's an amazing documentary, and you got to watch it. It's called Saving Lives at Sea. It's run by the RNLI, and it's an amazing program. I've seen every moment of that program, and it's worth watching. It's called Saving Lives at Sea, and it's run by the RNLI. It is an amazing program. All of a sudden, the waves were so strong that every single part of my body goes into the water, and then it takes 10 seconds of something to get back. Now, I've got some advice for you all, okay? Now, the float is to live, okay? Advice a key message in the RNLI's National Drowning Prevention Campaign, respect the water. It also urges people to follow potential and life-saving advice that if they find themselves in trouble after falling into the cold water. He also said, fight your instincts to swim hard and thrash about, and this can lead to breathing in water and drowning. He also said, instead, relax and float on your back until you have gained control of your breathing. And you can find more advice on the RNLI's website, which is what I'm always on. And when I do my advert at the end of the show, you'll know you might see me wearing an RNLI badge. I'm sure I might be. I'll be doing my video today about what's coming up on the shows next week. Remember, I'm on 3 days next week. Then after that, I'm on my holidays from the 12th of August. I think the 13th. From the 13th of August, I'll be on my holidays. So I'll let you know on Wednesday about that. And slowly was what he was going too far. And then once or twice he saw his face. After that, he didn't see him. But when he was in the water, he was struggling. And he thought, I was thinking that we could both lose our lives. As he going through this, mind was the fear that his son might even die in front of my eyes, he said. And he also added lots about that as well. Lifeboat crewman Rudy Barman described Rafi as an incredible young man who resisted the urge to panic. Now, it is amazing, really, an amazing story. The fact that he was on his back floating to live is just amazing, and that's what saved his life. And there we go. I mean, I've covered the whole story. I mean, it's just an amazing story. So congratulations to him, really, to be honest. Amazing story. So well done. Right, for saving his life. And so let's finish the news review there now, because when we come back after the next song, which is Disco and Flema by the Tramlers, we are going to be talking about, well, not ice cream vans, not just any old ice cream vans, but annoying ones. Do they get on your mind? On your nerves? Do they get on your nerves? Are they annoying? Is it the song that plays that annoys you, maybe? What is it that's wrong? Let us know. 07593 847 105 is the number to text or call. If you are texting, start with the word talk and your name and where you are from. Or what you can do is you can find us on Instagram at the Luke Howard fan page, or email us garyjhoward68@hotmail.com, or use the other email, which is 345457 at student.hrc.ac. But I must say, if you are going to email me that way, I'm having a bit of trouble with the emails at the moment, and it's not been that great at the moment with the emails. So if you do get in touch with me via that email and I don't get that to you, it's because I'm having a bit of trouble with them at the moment. Or you can find me on hashtags, hashtag Luke Howard, hashtag Luke Howard Show, or hashtag listen to the Luke Howard Show. Right, okay, music. So, be prepared now, because we are now talking about ice cream vans. Now, to you, are they annoying? Do they make a terrible noise? Well, now we've got some tunes that you might recognise. Some very famous ones as well. So listen to these, okay, because we're talking about this now. And one of these ones was one that I grew up with. So we'll play that now to you. Listen to these.